Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me for another 5 easy step card tutorial. Well, if you clicked on the video, that means you're interested in a baby card today. And so that's what we're doing. We're using some items from Spellbinders. We're going to be using the Baby Accessories Dies. This is a collaboration between Simple Stories and Spellbinders. It's from a classic, Say Cheese Classic Pooh Baby collection, but I love the stroller, so we're gonna make a card with the stroller on it. This was fabulous. It is a border die set. It's called Ribbon and Trim. If you guys are looking for a border die and love stitch detail or scalloped edges, this is the set for you. We'll be using this on our card today, and then we're going to bring in an oldie but goodie called the Perfect Touch Arches and Tags die set. And then I'm bringing in just a little bit of pattern paper. If you don't have a black and white paper paper piece, you could actually use a background stamp and just stamp some black and white. I think the black and white will go really good for my background today. I'm using Honeybee Stamps Hugs and Kisses 6x6 paper pad. I really liked the little squiggly lines here. It's hard to see, but that's the one we're going to be using. Okay, let's jump in and get started with step number 1 and create our focal image, which is this adorable stroller. I mean, it is so cute and very easy to put together. Okay, we're going to do some die cutting, and we're going to make a gender-friendly baby card using yellows and greens. Of course, you can customize with pinks and blues if you want to. I have this piece here is the stroller base, and then the wheel centers I'm cut out with white cardstock. I'm calling it a stroller, but it's actually a buggy. The buggy I'm cutting out with 2 different shades of yellow. The tires, I have 2 different shades of gray. And then the buggy canopy, I'm going to cut out with gray also. Gray's kind of a funny color because my background's going to be white, so I wanted it to stand out, so that's why I'm using the gray. I'm also going to create a couple of bottles. I don't know if I'll use them or not, but those will be my focal point too. So I took the bottle pieces and I cut those out with some white cardstock. So I will run this through my die cut machine and we'll put together a little buggy. Let's start by adding a little bit of glue at the top of the basket here. And then we'll add the layering piece right over the top. Next we have this little piece that we can add a dot here and a dot here, and then we can add the basket here. Lovely. Add a little glue at the little canopy piece, and we will tuck this under here. You see how easy it is to put together? We're almost done. After we have this done, we have our tires. I'm just going to add a couple drops of glue, the big one in the picture showed the big one on the back, and it showed the smaller one on the front. And then we can add a little glue around the end, and then we can add the little tire pieces. These are the wheel centers. I'm going to use my BG11 marker, and I'm going to color in those so they are a teal. While I'm at it, I'm going to take this piece for the bottle. I'm going to color this one in too. Save a step there. Then we can add the tire centers. One more step, we have the handle, which I did die cut out with yellow cardstock, the same yellow that we use for the basket. So we will add this here. And look how cute. So cute. Okay, now for the bottle. The bottle was 4 pieces. I cut it out, all of it with white cardstock, because I just think it's easier. This is the base. And for the base, I'm going to color it in using my gray marker. This is my C2. I'm just going to go over the top. I'm doing this so I don't have to cut this out twice. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little glue at the base. We can add the milk portion here at the bottom. And then we have the bottle top, which I'm going to use my E11 marker and just go over the top here. Again, I'm doing this because this way I don't have to cut it out twice. And then we add this over the bottle. We add that, I said over, but it goes underneath. Okay, and then you add a little glue on the top, and then you can add the little color band, customizing your bottle. Now I already made another bottle with this piece being green. So we have two little bottles here. And that's all there is to those. So this will be my focal point. I am going to pop these up eventually with some foam tape, but we'll put these to the side. And now we're going to work on step number 2, which means we need to create our home panel. That's where our perfect touch arches will come in. I'm going to take 2 of the middle size and some white cardstock and some Spellbinders Seaside. With the smaller one we'll cut out with white. The larger one, I think I can fit it on here. I'm going to cut this out with the teal. I'm just going to use my glue and we're going to layer them both together. Just 2 layered arches will be my home panel today. Now we're going to move along to step number 3, which means we need to create our sentiment. For my sentiment, I'm bringing in an older stamp set. I tried to find one that said congratulations. I found one. This is the Spellbinders Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club Kit from November of 2023. So it's an older one, but I suggest maybe just going through your stash and seeing if you can find a happy for you or a congratulations greeting. So I don't know if they still have this available, but if they do, I will link it below. But for today's card, we're going to stamp with the happy. I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner and a little piece of white cardstock, and we're going to stamp with some Distress Oxide inks because I want to create a yellow and green gradient here. I have 2 inks. I have Twisted Citron and Fossilized Amber. First off, we're going to go over the happy with Fossilized Amber yellow ink. I'm going to stamp this a couple times. I went ahead and wiped off my stamp, and now we're going to add Twisted Citron. I'm going to add it to the bottom of my happy to create a yellow and green gradient. Let's see. Just press that down. Wonderful. So we have a 2-tone happy. Now also in our stamp set, there is a for you. I want my greeting to say happy for you, so I'll take this and then we're going to stamp this on a little piece of white cardstock. I'm just going to use my Memento ink. Stamp it right in the middle. And I'm going to create a little tag out of this. I want to add some twine, and I think adding a little tag is the perfect way to do that. Spellbinders does have a tag die set. Let me show you. The assorted tags, they have 2 different circles in here, but I wanted the size that goes in between, so I'm going to make my own. So that's where a circle punch will come in. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to center it. Lovely. Punch it out. And then I'm going to bring in my crocodile and we'll punch a hole in here. And then I have a teal eyelet. The eyelets that I'm using I picked up from Hobby, I think it was Hobby Lobby or Michael's, so I can't link them. But if you don't have any eyelets or don't have a crocodile, what you could do is use, make a faux bow. Just tie a bow and then set it right in the middle of your tag. I think that would work too. But I do like the color. I'm going to go ahead and thread my tag here that we just created with some white twine. And we will tie a bow with it. Our little tag that says for you. I'm going to take the coordinating happy die and we will cut out our happy. And I'm also going to cut out a couple more white happies and we'll stack them together. I'm going to do a little bit of layering with this. So I will do that, and I'll be right back. I stacked 3 of the happies together here, and then I'll just add my very top one here. I suggest maybe stacking cardstock instead of pop-up foam because this is going to overhang a little bit, and I kind of want that stability of a thicker sentiment, almost like chipboard. Okay, so those are my greetings over here with the step 1 and step 2, and now we're going to work on step number 4 and create our background. For my background, we're going to do a little bit of die cutting with our border set, which I just love. This is called Ribbon and Trim. There's 5 different borders in here. The scalloped edge here with the stitch detail we'll cut out with white cardstock. And then I have the ribbon strip here. I'll cut that out with yellow. And then I have a thinner border with just 1 stitch detail layer down the middle. I'll cut that out. You're only really going to see the left and right of this. But it does add a nice little touch to your cards with all the stitch detail. I'm going to go ahead and layer all of these 3 together. So we have a nice little border. Okay, now for my background also, I have a piece of that pattern paper. The reverse side has hearts on it, but I really like the softness of the squiggly lines. And again, this is the Honeybee Hugs and Kisses paper pad. I've had it for a while. I'm not sure if it's available, but you know, anything that is available, I will link down below. I'm going to trim this panel down to 4 1/4. And I'm going to trim this down to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I said 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, but I'm going to take a little bit more off the bottom. Let's take half of an inch off the bottom. So it's 4 1/4 wide by 3 3/4 inches tall. And then I'm going to attach this to the front of an A2 size card base. And again, I think a background stamp would work great for this too instead of pattern paper. I have lots of pattern paper, but background stamp, I think the Hero Arts burlap would look great behind here. Something really soft or some lines would work great. I'm going to take my border and I'm going to attach it over the seam. And that's all we're doing for my background. Now let's build all of our layers together. I went ahead and put foam tape behind my archway. And I did put my buggy on it, so the buggy's in the center. I'm just going to remove the release paper. And then we're going to layer this. Now we're going to go add our happy down here. You see how the PP and the Y are overhanging? That's why the chipboard comes in handy. I'm going to use my glue and attach this at that bottom of my archway here. Now we have our little circle for you tag. I'm going to tuck it underneath the happy at a little bit of an angle. I think that's a good spot for there. And then we have our little bottles. I'm going to add one of the, let's see, I'll add the green bottle down here. Okay, I switched spots with the bottle, so the green one is up here now, and I did remove the foam tape so it's flush on my little buggy, and then the teal one's down here. Had I known I was going to do that, I probably would have used a green eyelet, but maybe I'll switch it out. We'll see. But now we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. We're going to bring in our Color Essential Gems. This is Spectrum AB. It kind of has a yellow tone to them. We're going to add a tiny one to the tire centers. Just 2 of the little itty bitty ones in the center of the little tires is all I need. Just a little sparkle. And that finishes off my little baby card today. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.